Hello everyone, Matthew here, and today I'm going to teach you how to do a competition pull-up. Let's first of all define what is a competition pull-up. Coming from the name, of course, it's a pull-up that will count in a street lifting competition. And for the purposes of this video, I'm going to take the final rep rulebook as a reference. So this is a tutorial for a final rep valid pull-up repetition. If you are competing in some kind of different federation, then the rules may differ, but the final rep rules are the most sensible and also probably the most common across the globe. So if you are entering a pull-up competition, then if a pull-up counts in a final rep competition, it will probably count elsewhere. With that out of the way, let's get right into it. And also an important detail, today I'm going to describe everything for pull-up, so pronated grip, but all of this info, almost all of it, can also be applied to a chin-up. In final rep, chin-ups are allowed, so you can grab the bar supinated, and everything I say might also be applicable to doing a competition-style chin-up. But today we're going to focus on the pull-up, because I prefer pull-ups. Pull-ups are the classic, the standard movement, and that's why I'm doing a tutorial for a pull-up. So before we get into actual execution of the pull-up, let's start with the necessary equipment, because it's an important part of actually being able to do pull-ups to competition standards. So of course, it's a pull-up, you will have to have a pull-up bar available. And it's really important that the pull-up bar is just a simple straight bar like this one in one piece, and not a bodybuilding style pull-up bar you might see in crossovers or in power racks where it's in separate pieces and there is no centerpiece. So it's really important to be able to actually see and feel your chin going over the bar, and if there is no centerpiece, it's not possible to do. So always when you're trying to do pull-ups, aim to have this kind of pull-up bar, so a simple straight bar. The second part is, of course, it's a weighted pull-up, so we're going to need weights. Nothing much to talk about here. Of course, if you have access to thin powerlifting style plates, they are preferable, but for pull-ups, having super thin plates is not super important because the weights you're going to lift are not extreme and they will not fill up the place between your legs to a brim like it can happen on dips. So for demonstration purposes today, I'm going to use a 10 kilo CrossFit plate, but of course, if you have access to powerlifting plates, use them. Right, the second integral part of any weighted pull-up is a weighted belt. And specifically for final rep, the only licensed belt, as I know, is the King of Weighted belt. And as it so happens, they're also my sponsors, so it can be considered advertisement, but I can really recommend the King of Weighted belt for all of your weighted calisthenics endeavors. It's super lightweight, and at the same time, it's also very durable and reliable. And it also features a long daisy chain, which is easy to adjust in length and have the plates at your necessary height, which is comfortable for you. And we will get into the height of the weight for pull-ups. But if you need a good weighted belt, and you will need a good weighted belt if you want to do your pull-ups properly, buy King of Weighted. 5% discount with my code ZLAT on the website. The next important part is the box. So in competition, you always have to enter from a box. And there is one technical reason why you have to enter from a box from behind, so from a single box. It's also possible to enter from two separate boxes and where you kind of go in the middle. But for a competition style pull-up, I would strongly recommend entering from a single box behind you. And the final small but necessary detail is grip enhancement. So it consists of two parts. The first one is, of course, chalk. I would never recommend doing any pull-ups without chalk. It's an integral part of any pull-up training, because if your grip is not up to par, your performance is not up to par. Your strength doesn't matter as long as you cannot transfer it into the pull-up bar. And having chalk on your hands makes this transfer as efficient as possible. The second part I'm going to talk about when it comes to grip is tape. So I get quite a lot of questions for what I use for grip, and this is it. This is simple medical tape. You can buy it in any pharmacy or online, and what it does, it creates a super grippy surface that doesn't slide or slip. So if your pull-up bar is slippery and you want to enhance your grip, use this. But this particular pull-up bar is super grippy, and in competition they also have super grippy pull-up bars, so tape is not relevant there. But if you want to enhance your grip, use tape. I can recommend it. And that's basically it for the equipment that you need. Let's now get to the actual execution of the pull-up. All right, so you are on the box with your King of weighted belt, and the weight is ready, and you are prepared to do your competition style pull-up. So let's examine how you enter the starting position first. So, as I already said, first you enter from a box which stands behind the bar. There should be some distance from the box to the bar so that there is space for you to actually enter the pull-up. And what you want to do is, first of all, set a grip on the bar. When it comes to width, it's pretty individual, but I would recommend going a little bit wider than shoulder width. Around 1.2 to 1.5 shoulder width is the Goldilocks zone for that. When it comes to the thumb position, you can have it both under or over the bar. It's purely individual preference. For example, I myself am more comfortable with thumb being over the bar, but a lot of strong athletes I know use the thumb under the bar, and it helps you secure the grip. But with the thumb over the bar, I personally feel a lot more lat activation and a more powerful start. You've set your grip, and now what you want to do is lower into the dead hang. And first you look at the bar, and it's really important in the starting position. You must look at the bar, and you elevate your shoulders and relax completely. It's really important because of this small detail. A lot of reps in competition get a no rep, because what is not allowed in competition is having like your shoulders active and then before you start pulling, dropping down. This is not allowed, and it's a small fine detail, but a lot of athletes get no reps for solid or otherwise pull-ups for this small detail. So when you enter the pull-up, you must completely relax your shoulders before your legs leave the box. So what I like to do is enter with one leg hanging. I look at the bar and I relax my shoulders completely, like this. So my leg is hanging, and only then I bring my second leg in. And now there is no chance for a double movement. It's also really important to have the weights at the necessary height. So what I would recommend is having the plate, the lower end of the plate, either in line with the fit or a little bit higher. Lower is also possible, but with the plate lower, it's hard to bring the plate forward when you pull, and it's the natural movement with the legs to do. So if you don't kip, and you should not kip in a competition style pull-up, you will bring your legs forward a bit when you go up, and securing the plate with the fit will really help keeping your legs straight. And also having the plate a little bit higher than the feet makes the forward movement a little bit easier. The leverage is not as long as with the plate hanging below the feet. And one final small detail that helps you eliminate kipping and keep your legs straight is pointing your toes. So you should aim to point your toes up, not like a gymnast, but up. So taking all that into consideration, the perfect entry and the perfect starting position will look something like this. And now you're ready to pull. So you now properly entered your starting position and you're ready to do a pull-up. But it's not super simple. First of all, what you want to avoid is using any kind of stretch reflex or a downward motion, because that's a no rep, as I already told you. So what you want to do is when you enter, you don't bring your head forward and you don't drop. You are hanging completely relaxed, and the first motion you do is going up a little bit. And after that, I want you to pull not only up, but a little bit back. This is done in order to activate your lats to the full potential and also to bring you to the most efficient middle point of the pull-up, so you can then horizontally close it. The strongest pulling path when it comes to doing a pull-up is not a straight line up. It's either a little bit C-shaped. So first you pull a little bit back, and then from the middle and up, you pull forward towards the bar. And at the top, you want to horizontally close the pull-up. What it means is that you pull forward and you bring your chin all the way to the bar to touch, or even go a little bit beyond the bar. So the path is C-shaped, so first you pull up and a little bit back, and then you go up and over the bar. So the rep will look like this. So as you can see, from the bottom, I pull a little bit back, and then I pull very strongly forward, and I close the rep with chin being on top of the bar. When you pull from the middle and up, you want to think of bringing the elbows back. So it's like a roll. So it's not like a vertical pull, it's like a hybrid of a vertical pull and a horizontal pull. So you bring your elbows back and throw yourself forward. And this movement should be done as explosively as possible. So pull-up is an explosive lift. The faster you go, the higher you'll go, and the more weight you will pull. So when it comes to optimal height, you should aim to have your chin visible over the bar. There is no need to pull chest to bar or even neck to bar for your pull-up to count. And if you are training especially, you don't want to waste your strength. So what I would do with training sets of competition form is aim to have your chin just visible on top of the bar. And it will look something like this in terms of height. And not higher. So you don't want to waste strength. You can do more reps or more weight instead. And the final super important part of the competition pull-up form is having your legs in control. So when you pull, you must always have your quads flexed and toes pointed up. This is a very rigid position to have your legs in. And if you do that, and you also squeeze the plate strongly, so when you hang and when you pull, you must always have your legs squeezed together like this. And if you do all that, so squeeze quads, squeeze the legs together, point the toes up, you eliminate any chance of kipping. And a lot of pull-ups are getting no reps for kipping, so the easy way to avoid it is to just squeeze everything very hard, so legs together, quads squeezed, toes pointed up. That's how you control the legs in a competition style pull-up. Once you are over the bar with your chin, you need to go down properly because the pull-up is still not over. The rep is counted only when you do a pull-up, go down, and then you hang until you receive a judge command to stop the rep and go back to the box. So the pull-up is over when you finish the rep in a dead hang and wait for the judge's command box. And only after the box command is given, you are allowed to enter back onto a box, and now the rep is finished. If you miss the box command, it's a no rep. So you have completed the pull-up successfully, but you can still have it no rep because you missed the box command. And this is definitely something you want to avoid. Now let's talk about chaining the reps together. So everything that I just said was for one single rep. But if you train pull-ups, you also do sets of several reps. And when it comes to competition pull-ups, I would strongly suggest doing them dead stop, not non-stop. So all the reps dead stop in order to get the proper activation from the bottom every time. Because when you non-stop pulls, you still use a little bit of that stretch reflex between the reps. So you go down and immediately up, and this spring effect on the bottom, it helps. So if you want to really be specific with your competition pull-up training, you do every rep dead stop. So when you dead stop, you do a pull-up, you enter the dead hang, and there is a natural swing going on. So it's like a metronome. So you want to time your pull-ups with the swing, what I call a one swing dead stop. So you get down from a pull-up and then wait until your body goes back and forward. And at the furthermost forward point, you do the next pull-up. And it looks like this. So there is a natural swing, up, wait, body forward, up, wait, body forward, up. Like this. That's the proper dead stop. When you get close to failure, you might want to rest for 2 swings between reps, but that's done only if you go to true RPE 10. If you do not intend to push to RPE 10, always aim to have 1 swing dead stop and not longer. So, in some exciting news for you, if you're following me on Instagram, you're probably already familiar with my close Telegram community, Matthew's Vault. But I will still notify you about this today, here in this video. So I have created a private Telegram community where I share all the info that doesn't make it onto my other social media channels like Instagram or YouTube. There I share all of my training, all the sessions, even the failed ones. So if you want to see me struggle, join. As well as all the private tips and small nuanced info that is not really applicable to YouTube or Instagram. So all the little tips that really make the difference in the long run, all the guides for small things, and all the private info that is super valuable, it's all in that community. And there's also a group chat where you can ask me for anything directly and I will answer it in a reasonable time frame, as well as you can also connect to all the other members. There are plenty of strong guys there who are ready to help you, and join the discussion, join Matthew's Vault. I'll be waiting for you inside. All right, so that's all for today. Now, if you apply all that info and do everything exactly as I said, you will have a perfect competition style pull-up, and it will pass in any final rep competition. And it's also great for training pull-ups, so now you're ready to train clean form pull-ups. I'm Matthew, and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Stay tuned, more is coming, and thank you for watching. Peace.